Well, I don't think it's going to make a blind bit of difference, given the ineptitude with which they've been patrolling the North Sea so far. I mean, the way I put it to people when they talk, ask me about illegal migration across the Channel is, what would Border Force's reaction be if 400 people got off a jumbo jet at Heathrow Airport and charged the immigration desks and insisted on being let in? It would be the quickest way to get guns pointed in their face, find themselves face down on the ground and handcuffed, manhandled back into a room, put on the next plane back to wherever it is they came from. And that is a physical border control. That's what would happen in Heathrow Airport. You're looking at me askance, but that is, you try it next time you're coming through Heathrow, run at the immigration desk and see if you don't get a gun pointing in your face. When these people come across into our territorial water from French territorial waters, effectively they are assaulting the United Kingdom's integrity. That's what they're doing. And the Navy and Border Force should be physically repelling these people. Rwanda is not a solution. Rwanda is an acknowledgement that border control isn't working. Rwanda is a deportation program to deal with the people who've already come across our defective border control and been ferried back to our shores by Border Force and by the Royal Navy. What we need is either Border Force to be sacked and a whole new load of people to be employed who'll actually do their job, or the government needs to take on private individuals who will actually push these boats back into French territorial water. They're putting themselves in danger coming into the Channel. They've got the right to make the decisions they wish to make, but then they must recognise there is a risk that they will be pushed back into French water, and we must push them back. That is it. That is border control.
Mary-Ann? You laughed, by the way, at part of that when he was saying basically this is an assault in some way on the UK. You thought that was
I think it's very colourful language. I think if you want to, I'm trying to work out how to phrase this. If you want to have people spread-eagled on the concrete of Heathrow Airport's runway, being handcuffed and marched away to some kind of detention facility because they might be an illegal immigrant, then I would invite you to do that to the women and children who you think may be Ukrainian, but, who knows, maybe they're from somewhere else. And they threw their papers because they are also claiming asylum or refuge status here. The suggestion is that you can look at the... No, it's not silly because you can...
Someone being invited to come to the country versus someone making an illegal crossing are two different things. Let's not conflate the two.
OK, so firstly, if you're seeking asylum, there's nothing illegal about... it's dangerous. You might have paid people to do illegal things. You might have paid people smugglers to get that place on the really dodgy dinghy to try and get across the Channel. I'm not saying that's a good thing. I'm saying that absolutely needs to be addressed because it's a humanitarian crisis as well as a national crisis. We don't want 200,000 people every year risking their lives and risking the lives and the resources of our Coast Guard, of the RNLI and of our Navy, who have better things to be doing.
And the billions of pounds we have to spend on housing them once they get here, apparently in pretty classy hotels.
No.
And fighting all sorts of judicial processes for the multiplicity of asylum applications they make.
That is because you need to determine whether someone has a legal and genuine claim of asylum, in which case we have a duty and a responsibility as citizens of the world to provide refuge and asylum.
They are coming from France.
Doesn't matter.
If you click on...
A Ukrainian refugee has passed through other safe countries.
A Ukrainian refugee has been invited into the country. What are you
talking about? It doesn't matter. They can't be invited. If you're a refugee, you have a right to claim asylum. So